The Trial of Sekhmet. Darkness loomed over the desolate sands of Egypt, where the echoes of forgotten gods whispered in the wind. The sky, once golden with Ra's embrace, was now cloaked in an eternal dusk, a reflection of the turmoil that gripped the land. The people cowered in fear, for the divine wrath of Sekhmet, the lioness of war, had been unleashed. She had once been the executioner of Ra's will, a harbinger of judgment upon the unfaithful. But the mortals had grown weak, their devotion fading into complacency. The gods themselves had turned away, leaving her to wander the earth as a specter of fury, neither revered nor restrained. Her hunger for battle was unsated, her purpose unfulfilled. She was abandoned, forgotten, yet even gods could suffer, tormented by an existence devoid of meaning. Sekhmet roamed the forsaken wastelands, her golden fur now darkened with the blood of those who dared test her. The rivers of Egypt had run dry, and the once mighty temples lay in ruin. The world had become a graveyard, and she its unwilling warden. One fateful night, as the moon bled red over the Nile, a voice emerged from the void. It was not Ra, nor any of the deities who once praised her might. It was the abyss itself, whispering cruel truths into her ear. You were made to destroy, yet what remains to be broken? She snarled, but the voice continued. You were feared, yet who remains to tremble? Her claws dug into the scorched earth, and for the first time in eternity, doubt took root in her heart. What was she, if not a tool of destruction? What was a lioness without a hunt, a goddess without worship? A test lay before her, not of battle, but of purpose. To remain in her wrath was to perish as a beast, but to transcend it, that was the path of the divine. Sekhmet closed her eyes, breathing in the scent of death that still lingered upon the land. She could not return to Ra's side, nor could she erase the destruction she had wrought. But she could rise anew, not as a mindless weapon, but as something greater. And so, the goddess knelt, pressing her blood-stained hands upon the earth. With a voice that once roared in battle, she whispered instead a prayer, not to the gods but to the world itself. The wind howled in answer. The Nile, stagnant and silent, trembled. The ruins of temples long abandoned flickered with light once more. Sekhmet had suffered. She had raged, lost, and questioned the very fabric of her being. But in her suffering, she had found truth. She was not merely destruction. She was balance. As dawn broke, the goddess stood at the edge of the Nile, watching its waters begin to flow once more. The mortals, fearful yet awed, emerged from their shelters to witness the rebirth of the land. And in the reflection of the river, Sekhmet saw not a beast, not a forgotten weapon of vengeance, but a deity reborn, fierce in both fury and wisdom. For even the most relentless storm must one day become the rain that nurtures life anew. Yet her trial was not complete. Though the land healed, shadows still lurked in the hearts of men. Greed, deception, and arrogance threatened to undo all that had been restored. The gods of old, sensing the shifting balance, whispered among themselves, watching to see if Sekhmet would falter once more. She would not. With measured steps, she walked through the land, no longer a force of unchecked wrath, but a guardian of equilibrium. She confronted kings who sought power over justice, tore down idols that mocked the divine, and reminded humanity that gods did not serve at their whim, but guided through wisdom and strength. But darkness is persistent, and the forces of chaos took shape in the form of Apophis, the eternal serpent of discord. From the depths of the void, the serpent stirred, enraged by Sekhmet's defiance. It slithered into the mortal realm, poisoning minds, whispering lies, inciting war where peace had begun to blossom. Sekhmet did not hesitate. She had walked the abyss, had known suffering deeper than even the gods could fathom, and she had emerged stronger, with fire in her veins and the roar of a lioness that shook the heavens. She faced Apophis in battle, no longer just a warrior of destruction, but the embodiment of divine justice. The battle raged for days, the sky torn asunder by the fury of the clash. Flames and darkness intertwined, each seeking to consume the other. But Sekhmet had learned her lesson. She was not only the storm but the rain, not only the fire but the warmth, not only vengeance but justice. With a final strike, she severed the serpent's head, casting its form back into the abyss. The world trembled, then fell silent. Sekhmet stood victorious. And so she walked the earth, no longer bound by the shackles of blind rage. She was the balance, the reckoning, the protector. Her roar was no longer one of hunger, but of warning to the wicked, to the unjust, to those who sought to tip the scales once more. And thus, the lioness of war became the guardian of order, a legend whispered across generations, a goddess who had not merely survived her suffering, but had transcended it.